Welcome back to the class, everyone. Today we have another video looking at strategy for GAC. One of the questions that I've been getting a lot, both on the Discord server as well in the actual streams, is what are some characters that benefit from not having speed? And one of the reasons why this is really important is because, especially when you're a new player, you're working on building your roster and you get a load of mods, and a lot of the mods that you get in the very beginning of the game don't have a lot of speed, so you don't really have a place for them, or you don't know if you need to hold them. So in this video, we're going to be looking at specifically 5 characters that benefit or have benefits in certain lineups or certain comps that benefit from not having speed, from actually being slower. Those 5 characters, there's really no mystery here. Those are the 5 characters we're looking at right now, and we're going to go through each one of them one by one, and what we're going to talk about in each character is, number one, why they don't need the speed, like what mechanic or what reason is behind why they don't need that speed. Number 2, what the modding should be in place of that. And number 3, the circumstance that this is applicable, because not all of these characters are good all the time slow. But that being said, let's just go ahead and get right into it. And we're going to just go in order here. So the first character we have is Jedi Luke, and this is probably one of the more familiar characters that people are aware of that does not need a lot of speed to be viable and actually benefits from having lower speed. But the only circumstance he benefits from that lower speed in is his lead. For those of you guys who don't know, we'll open it real quick. Basically, what Luke's lead does is when he's up against an enemy that doesn't have a Galactic Legend in it, he is going to reduce the entire enemy team to his own speed after mods. So if you intentionally keep him really low, what's going to end up happening is he's going to take a turn. He's going to reduce the enemy speed to, I don't know, 140 or something like that, whatever his base is, or whatever you have him modded. And then your entire team can be well above 250, 300 speed, and your entire team will just end up consistently lapping the enemy team and destroying them. That being said, this is really about the only place that you're going to be able to use it within his own lead. If you're looking to use him under another lead, which is a great use, you can use him under Jedi Revan really well. You can use him under Jedi Master Luke really well. If you're going to do that, you really want to have a good amount of speed on him. And actually, we're going to look at my modding right here. I actually have him modded with a decent amount of speed, and that's the reason why. I generally don't use Jedi Knight Luke lead. I normally lean more towards Jedi Master Luke. Maybe I take down SOKR or Jedi Knight Revan, really for the same reason. That being said, what modding do you put in place if you're not going to do speed? And the answer is really easy, and it's really convenient. It's just lots and lots of offense. Offense sets, you can put offense primaries on the triangle. Obviously, you can put a crit damage triangle in as well. I think I said offense as well, but I meant offense on the arrow. So instead of a speed arrow, you put an offense arrow. And then for secondaries, you're really just going to look for things that have a ginormous amount of offense. Like this circle here, of course, that has a lot of speed. But even if this didn't have the speed, this would be great under Jedi Knight Luke lead. About 5% offense as well, 5% crit chance. So really aiming for protection, offense, and crit chance. Percent crit chance or percent offense is always better because it's a character you're just going to relic immediately. And that protection is really nice because he ends up stacking it via his basic, and it makes him a little bit more tanky. So overall, offense, crit damage, as well as protection. I would definitely recommend that. So that's the first character, Jedi Luke. Next character is going to be Droidica. Droidica, again, has specific mechanics built into him that are going to make it beneficial for him to be slower. The first one of those, he actually has 2 things that do that. The first one is this one. If the target has higher speed than Droidica, deal true damage, ignores defense but can't be critically hit, which scales based on the difference in their speed. So basically what this means is the bigger the gap between Droidica and the enemy unit that he's attacking is, the bigger gap of speed there is, the more this is going to do damage. So you want, or it is beneficial to have a slower speed on Droidica to be able to make this happen. There are some circumstances where you want a faster Droidica. It doesn't need to be that fast, just need to be faster than everyone else after his unique, where he'll roll and he'll be able to assist constantly. But if, again, you're really low on speed mods and you're trying to find a character that you can get away with that can be slow, that can benefit from it, Droidica is really good match. One of the other reasons why is because he gains a stack of charge for every enemy turn they take, and this charge can be used in 2 of his special abilities. So what happens is, if you're naturally slower, the enemy is going to end up taking more and more turns, and when it gets to your turn, you're going to be able to unleash these huge amount of charge for either one of the special abilities. So again, maybe not ideal in all circumstances, but if you're running low, it's a good option. What do you use for Droidica? It's actually very similar to Jedi Luke. You're going to aim for a lot of offense and protection. Those are generally the two best things you can go for. Offense primaries here. The only big difference is you really want to have an offense triangle on Droidica as well, just because of the amount of true damage that he deals rather than critical damage. So again, very similar to Jedi Luke. Over to the next character, we have Zalbar. This is where things start to get a little bit different. The other two characters, they had specific things like CG intentionally made them to benefit from being slow. Zalbar has some more things that are kind of hidden that benefit him from being slow, and it all really boils down to this unique. Zalbar gains 20% defense stacking each time he takes damage from an attack for 1 turn. So what is going to end up happening? Zalbar actually has a few different ways to taunt. Both when a ally enemy falls below 100% health, and as well when he uses a special. So what's going to happen is you are going to be stuck behind the taunt, and you're going to have to continually keep hitting Zalbar, and that entire time, he's going to keep stacking defense, and defense, and defense, and defense. And what is great about having him slow is that this only lasts for 1 turn. It says that right here in the ability. So if you have a moderately fast Zalbar, he's going to end up keep taking turns, and he's going to lose that massive amount of defense. So again, he can use speed at some points, but if you're looking for a character that you can get away with being slower and they're actually going to get benefit out of it, Zalbar is a great choice because of this mechanic. Because even if they can dispel it, which there are a lot of dispels nowadays, if they end up taking another character under 100% health again, they're going to get stuck behind this again. Or even if they get everyone down to just mission and miss and stealth, they're going to get stuck behind this again. So there's a lot of things you can do in this to make it worthwhile. This is how I have Zalbar modded as well. He only has 17 speed. I really tried to focus in on a lot of protection, a lot of tenacity, and even, I believe I have him modded for crit avoidance. Just because he gets an added bonus from having mission there, or just from his unique in general, I believe. So he's going to be able to avoid crits in general. Yep, he has 25% crit avoidance, so you combine that with the arrow, it helps for even more. He's got protection primaries, tenacity primaries to make sure that things like buff immunity stay off of him, because buff immunity is never really going to even taunt. Shock as well. So definitely go for tenacity, definitely go for protection. He's already got the defense really going via his kits. We saw that earlier in his unique, so you don't need to worry about that too much. It can be good, but it's not of the highest priority. The next character we're going to look at is Xylo. Xylo is here for a very, very similar reason. Because if you look into his unstoppable unique, and there's actually a whole lot of things in this unique, the things that we're going to focus on is whenever Xylo takes damage, he gets 50% defense stacking and 50% offense stacking for 1 turn. Okay, so again, what we're looking at here is a character that after they take a turn, they're going to lose a good amount of these bonuses. So where you're going to want to use this, where you're going to want to use slow Xylo, is generally when you put him together with a team where he's going to be exposed the entire time. The two best examples of this are maybe a Zal lead, where everyone stays in stealth from Zal and you're forced to hit Xylo, so kind of as a soft taunt, or even on a Separatist team, where Dooku goes and he stealths all the Separatists and Xylo's exposed, and they're just going to have to keep hitting him repeatedly. And Xylo, a little bit different from Zalbar. Number one, he's going to be able to take the hits as long as there's a big enough gear difference because of the stacking defense. But what ends up happening with him too is that the enemy dips into his health and can't kill him because his defense is so high. This attack deals 75% more damage after he's below full health. So I've seen this attack do well over 100,000 damage just because of how much that he stacks from this. That being said, I use my Xylos most for solos. I don't use them kind of in the soft taunt tank way, so I do put a little bit of speed on him. Because one of the things, depending on how you use him on offense, that you are going to run into is him gaining speed from debuffs. So at the end of the day, you might not actually be getting that much out of making him slow. Again, depending on how you use him. If you're using him as like a soft taunt tank, then yeah, run him slow. And the last character we have here is my beloved Nesta. I love her so much. I use her all the time. She's so great. And again, this is another character that can benefit from being fast in certain circumstances. Specifically, I think with Bando is actually very, very useful. I use her primarily for solos. And the reason why you want her to be slow for solos is because she is going to gain stacking protection up until she takes her next turn. So if you run her really fast, there is a chance for this protection up to go down and for her to take multiple big hits in a row. So you want her to hide behind that huge protection shell so that when she comes out, she can do a lot of damage and then she can go back into hiding. She waits, takes a lot of hits, they can't do anything. She comes out, does a lot of damage, goes back into hiding. So if you're going to use it for solos, running her slow is a really, really great option. That being said, what do we use in place of speed if we're not going to use it? Nest actually has really peculiar mods, very specific. She needs a lot of tenacity, that is first and foremost. The next two that she needs after that are health and offense. Health is very, very beneficial because her protection up is gauged off of her health, not off of her protection. And as well, she needs a lot of percent offense. We have that on the arrow. And crit damage. The reason why she needs those is because you're trying to solo a team. You're trying to take one character against an entire team of 5. If you do not have enough offense to eventually chew through this team, even with their stacking crit damage, you can time out. Because at the end of the day, you're still 1 versus 5. So you guys can see I have a total of 204 speed right now, which is pretty darn slow. So that is going to be it today. I usually get this question in the comments every now and then. Why do I not have the kinetic charge Omega? And the reason why is because it is counterintuitive, again, to what we were talking about in solos. I don't want her to gain turn meter and take another turn. I want her to stay in her protection up. Not this Omega is going to absolutely ruin her, but it is. I find it more beneficial to not have it so that we can, again, take less turns, let the enemy do their thing, and build up our protection shell so we can eventually just whack them. So that is going to be it for today, guys. Again, we looked at 5 characters that it can be beneficial to not have speed. I do want to continue this video a little bit in, well, continue this concept in some other videos. In the next video, I want to go over characters that are really so-so with speed. Like, you can put it on, but it doesn't really do anything. They don't really benefit from it, but at the same time, it doesn't really hurt them. Where in this case, depending on the circumstance, speed could legitimately hurt the character, depending on what you're trying to do. That being said, guys, if you want to see me again before the next video, I do stream my GAC battles on Twitch every 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, Monday, and Saturday. But until then, or until the next video, stay awesome.